It's been several days since I've posted here. Partially because, for whatever reason, a lot of people tune out of the carnivore space at the holidays. I don't know why that is. Well, I actually have a suspicion, and that's because people tend to take a break from their carnivore or ketogenic diets at this time of year. And it's understandable, I guess, if your goals aren't, radical weight loss like mine are, and I'm not having a lot of luck with that these days, so keep me in your thoughts and prayers or whatever it is you believe in. I could use some support on that because no matter how much fine tuning I do, my metabolism is just done. It's like, nope, we're not doing this. And I've been sick for the last several days, and it doesn't look like it's getting much better either. So I'm going to keep this brief, and I'm going to suggest that I think the reason a lot of people tune out is because people tend to live a little, I guess is how they would characterize it, at Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year. It's understandable when you think about social pressures. A lot of people face these social pressures to go and just not be the weird one at the Christmas party, the office Christmas party, or they're with family and friends. Maybe your family has some traditional holiday dishes that you just can't pass up, or so you say. I understand it, but I don't agree with it. But I get why people make that decision. And so I'm going to assume that a fair number of you watching this at least relaxed a bit, if not went and took the Thanksgiving holiday off. And now you might be having trouble getting back on the horse. Thanksgiving was almost a week ago now in the United States, and maybe you're wrestling with the idea of, just not doing it, not doing carnivore until January 2nd. I am going to ask that I'm going to try here to encourage you to step up and grit your teeth and get through it. Instead, get back on the carnivore or ketogenic horse, whatever your diet is. Maybe you don't watch carnivore, you're not a carnivore, or you're not a ketogenic person, you simply are a whole foods, no processed foods person. And you're still wrestling with this because, man, those hyper palatable pies that people tend to eat this time of year, they're really tasty, or whatever it is. Everyone's got their thing at this time of year. I'm going to encourage whatever it is you do, that you get back into the game, get your head right and get back into the game. I'm going to give you a couple consequences here for what happens if you fall off the horse on your diet, especially when you do carb restriction, and what could happen if you don't get this back into control. One of the things that I've seen talked about that I've never seen anybody in the carnivore space really talk about is an increased sensitivity to carbohydrates. I've noticed this in the past when doing keto diets and just giving up and going back to eating a cleaner version of a standard American diet, that my body, which has always really liked carbohydrates, loved hanging on to them, suddenly it was way worse after having done carb restriction. Another thing you will probably run into is a consequence of that, which is rapid weight gain. Far more rapid than would be possible if you think of things only in calories in, calories out. That is a consequence many people will face. I've been there. I know it from experience. Another thing you're going to run into, and this might be directly related to that first point, is if you've been carnivore or keto for a long time, especially if you're keeping it very clean, your stomach is not going to be used to eating the stuff that you didn't eat before. You may have noticed this already on Thanksgiving. If you decided you're going to eat the stuffing or whatever, and the next day you feel weird. Your stomach doesn't like you. Your bathroom habits change dramatically, and not for the better. Whatever it is, it doesn't get better either, unless you do some really, really intense gut flora sort of interventions, buying whatever those expensive supplements that Thomas DeLauer promotes, the ones that have the probiotic in the actual, it's a container of probiotic and another pill container. So when you take it, it actually gets to your gut and gives it to you, whatever that brand is. Unless you're going something like that, it's going to take a very long time for your stomach to recover, just so that your body reacts normally to that stuff. And it might never happen again. The stuff that no one talks about in this space. And then the other thing you're going to notice, I noticed this a long time ago, that when I consume sugar, I get mean. My personality changes. Sugar's a weird thing. It has effects on our minds. And I don't see a lot of people talking about that either. But if you start indulging in that stuff, you're going to run into problems. You might become like the source of not such very good Christmas cheer. And on the flip side of the cheat meal you've had already, or maybe you're planning, you got through Thanksgiving, you're like, you could do what I was going to do. I had a beef rib in one hand and a turkey leg in the other, right? And then some other stuff. But maybe you did that and got through Thanksgiving. But your plan is to take Christmas off because you like Christmas more, a lot of Christmas dishes that are available that maybe you prefer those over like potatoes and stuffing and turkey and that kind of stuff. Sugar, what you're going to run into is if you take the day off, that day will quickly turn into more than one day for most people. And then what you're going to deal with, you're probably going to start dealing with things you haven't dealt with since you first went carnivore or ketogenic, which is all of a sudden several days kick in, you've lost the water weight, but your body is like reminding you how much it really likes sugar. And it's starting to make you irritable. It's starting to give you maybe headaches or fatigue, or you eat, 3 pounds of meat and an hour later you're hungry again because what your body really wants is sugar. And it will make room for sugar, even though it defies logic. All sorts of other things. It will not be worth the 20 minutes of bliss that you have eating whatever the holiday dish is to then undo everything you've done to get through the muck of what you'll have to go through. And that's not counting any weight gain you're going to get. One of the things I've noticed is my metabolism is broken. I'm having a hard time, doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, including exercise when I'm not sick. You heard the cough. Of losing weight. I just can't. Your metabolism changes. And it could be that if you indulge in this stuff, you might start, getting sick. I have 3 small children, so I get colds now several times a year when I didn't before. No matter how much carnivore I do, it doesn't seem to matter. My kids get right past the immuno boost we get from this diet, and I get sick because kids are, carriers. But I'm curious, what other problems do you think people will run into? Please, if you, in the comments, agree with what I'm saying, and you see there are things I haven't said for reasons why people shouldn't give up and not just, that's because it's weakness, yada. No, I mean concrete reasons that don't undermine people. Give people positive encouragement to stay on the program. And if they've already fallen off, to get back on. Because there is a great temptation that when Thanksgiving rolls around, you decide you're just going to indulge, and then you just kind of coast in indulgence all the way till January 2nd and get back on the horse. 6 weeks of potato chips and pies and peanut butter cups and eggnog and things is not a great way to go. But if you have a way of positively affirming people for how to get back on the horse, do so. Do it in the name of the Christmas spirit. Whatever you got to do, give people the support they need. In the comments, please. And hit like and subscribe if you haven't. It does help. So to sharing this on social media, that helps too. I'm hoping to get back to regular food news coverage here in the coming days. Thanks for tuning in, folks. It's Anthony Stine, the Practical Carnivore. Thanks for your time today.